Hello, gorgeous people of the EFL stratosphere. It is time. We're going to predict every team's player of the season. If you're a big EFL fan, in particular, if you're a big Championship fan, this is the channel for you and the video for you, because we're going to put forward a name for every single club. If you disagree, let us know in the comments below. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button, and once again, subscribe if you love EFL content. We've already done a video this season talking about Vincent Kompany's Burnley side. A lot of people, everyone's talking about it. Honestly, everyone's talking about it. And everyone's going to be talking about this. So get involved. Right, let's begin. Right then, Birmingham City, Jordan James, a cultured passer of the ball. I think, look, the risk here is that you're saying an 18-year-old is going to be player of the season for Birmingham City. But it feels like he's going to get the minutes this year. And against Cardiff, although Birmingham lost, he was fantastic in that game on the left side of a midfield three. 6 out of his 6 long balls were successful. So he has that really, really impressive passing range. And yeah, 18, it'd be a surprise, but I think he's going to get that game time, and I can see him being player of the year for Birmingham. Blackburn Rovers, it's going to have to be Lewis Travis. Scored an absolute screamer on the opening day. Thanks for that, Lewis, against my beloved Queen's Park Rangers. But he's one of the best in the league. He is getting to that point. Was so last season. 24-year-old, getting into that time. Often you see it in the Championship, those players that are going to go on to do really great things. At 24, it all starts to click. And for Lewis Travis, it feels like it does now. The fulcrum of the side, a key cog of this Blackburn side, of which John Tyler Thomason wants to dominate that midfield. He's going to be a huge part of that. And also with Joe Rothwell leaving, he will be the main man for Blackburn Rovers this year. Blackpool and Josh Bowler. Now, I just want to say, look, this is a coincidence, but these are two players back-to-back that have scored winners against Queen's Park Rangers. But this guy, who started off at QPR, went to Everton, now, of course, at Blackpool, he's just got real dynamism. He's very unique as a player. Plays on that right-hand side, drives with the ball, direct as a dribbler as well. Looks to impact the game. And in terms of ball progression and chance creation for Blackpool, so important. This season, he's averaged a very, very high bar of 2.8 dribbles per 90. So that is a high standard to set, but I think Josh Bowler is a really, really good player in this division. Every time I watch him, he does stand out, and I think he'll stand out for Blackpool this year. Bristol City, again, I'm going to go for a youngster here. Alex Scott gives them untold quality in the midfield. Can play as a 10, can play as an 8. He's incisive with his passing, can play that killer pass, but also having to put in a tackle as well. Just offers so much quality and creativity to that midfield, which I feel like has been lacking a little bit at times with Bristol City, who are having some cracking games so far this season. There are other options, of course. Weimann, has been so consistent for them in terms of goal scoring. Cal Naismith is going to be a huge part of the team as the season progresses, but I'm going to go with Alex Scott. Not the pundit, the player. Terrible joke. So sorry. Burnley, I'm going to go with Josh Brownhill. Cullen, of course, is going to be crucial for the team, as we spoke about on that video, talking about Vincent Kompany's new Burnley side. What I like about Josh Brownhill and why he's going to probably have that impact, especially if Burnley have the season that they want to have, is the fact that he's playing as that sort of 10-second striker, deadly shooting at times, which I think will kind of shock and plant it in the minds of the Burnley fans when they're thinking of who their player of the season will be. Going forward, he's going to score more goals than you've seen in the past from him as well, and all that put together would allow him to quite possibly stand out in front when it comes to the player of the season award. Cardiff City, I'm going to go with an outside shout of Ryan Wintle, but Cardiff City fans will know that this guy is super underappreciated from people outside of Cardiff City, because yeah, he doesn't really get that many plaudits really, but he's been really good so far in Cardiff's double pivot. So important, has absolutely everything you want from a defensive standpoint, but also really important in getting the ball and allowing it to be moved through the thirds as well, with a brilliant passing range that he has. So a crucial asset to Cardiff, and one that I think the Cardiff City fans will applaud and award at the end of the season. Coventry, there's always a few options when it comes to Coventry, but I'm going to go with Victor Gyökeres. We should call him Gary Gyökeres, because he guarantees goals. He is Gary Goals, and he just does his thing for Coventry, and he shut up a lot of critics last season, scoring those 17 goals. Has everything you want to lead the line. I believe he's a Premier League quality striker, in my opinion, in terms of being so complete and offering so much, as well as goals. Probably Coventry's most important player, I'd say. Huddersfield Town, Jack Rudoni offers open play ingenuity. The big thing with Huddersfield Town last season was that so many of their goals and their superpowers almost was down to sort of set pieces, large part of them getting into the playoffs. This year, they're going to need to have a bit more of it from open play, and Jack Verdoni, I think, offers up a fearlessness and a positivity with the ball that's really, really refreshing and is going to be a crucial part for Huddersfield, and I think we'll get him in the mix for Player of the Season this year. Hull City, Oscar Estupiñán could be the Championship's top scorer this season if he carries on with the form that he's kicked off the season with. Now, lots of talk about Seri and Tufan. I get it. I'm playing a long game here. I feel like there may be some injury problems along the way. Of course, we don't want anyone getting injured at all, but they could be candidates for missing a few games during the season. And so with that in mind, Estupiñán, who's come into the league and has done brilliantly so far this season, 4 goals and an assist. You've got a guy there that could hit 20 goals plus this season, could be in the candidates for Player of the League by the end of the season. So let's see what happens with them. But maybe I'm going into a bit too big, bit too early. Let me know in the comments down below, Hull City fans, how you feeling about this guy and how you feeling about your team this season. Do you think he'll be the player of the season? Luton Town, I'm going to go for Alan Campbell. He does all the dirty work, really, for Luton Town. I mean, that's not fair. A lot of the players work stupidly hard for Nathan Jones. And they do have a lot of attacking talent, the likes of Cauley Woodrow, Musquet, Carlton Morris, the likes of Adebayo, of course, as well. But it's not totally clicked as of yet. And it's tough, isn't it? When you make the playoffs, there can be that little bit of a drop-off. So in a season that I think could possibly be sort of middling, you've got a player here in Alan Campbell that, as I say, does the dirty work, but has been brilliant on the ball as well. And I think if he continues that form, I think he's got a great shout of being player of the season. Middlesbrough, Isaiah Jones, probably the best in his position in the league. Borough have created 6.02 XG from open play so far this season, only scored 4 goals. And that is the most of any team. And the big thing here when it comes to Isaiah Jones, and again, I've been fortunate enough to see him in the flesh this season, is that they are creating loads of chances, but his advanced position and the desire to get the ball over to that right-hand side and get it to his feet means that I just can't see a world where he's not getting at least 10 assists, at least 15 goal involvements this year. So important. Absolute live wire, lightning, gorgeous feet, pace. Got absolutely everything in that position, and he's going to hurt a lot of teams this year. Millwall, I'm going to go with George Honeyman, new signing this season. When I saw that happen, I thought, wow, that's a cracking signing for Gary Rowett's men. And he just makes things happen. You know, Jed Wallace, of course, has gone, and he's come in. And in terms of how well they've started the season, a lot of that attacking prowess it's been instrumental in terms of it being about George Honeyman. The thing I love about him, he is a proper old school midfielder, completely undroppable because he's not a luxury player. He works hard, there's industry, there's desire to get into the box. Just a really, really strong, incessant midfielder who I think is going to become a bit of a legend at Millwall, in my opinion. Norwich City, now I could go with Omar Dele because I just think he's going to have a really strong season for him as a new face. I say new face, new regular face in that starting lineup in the centre-back position. But I'm going to go for Marcelino Nunez. He's giving Norwich a real creative spark. After a tricky start for Norwich, they're starting to find their feet. And what I like about him is on that sort of left-hand side as an 8, he plays an attacking 8, but he also allows Kieran Dowell to be an attacking 8 as well, which just makes him a way better outfit, basically. Really good from a creative sense in terms of unlocking defences. Norwich will be looking to dominate the bulk of the games that they're playing this season, and I think he could be a really, really crucial player for them this year. Preston North End, Robbie Brady, who's 30. I was sure he was miles older than that, but he's so good in chance creation. Look, the guy's got Premier League quality in terms of technique as well. And he's dropped down into the Championship, and in that wing-back position, he's just taken to it like a duck to water in Ryan Lowe's system. Unique role for him. It's asked a lot from the wing-backs from, a tenacity point of view, but also from a technical point of view. And he's just a massive weapon for Preston going forward. And if he continues to perform like this, he's got a real chance at the Championship Team of the Year. Such a great signing for them, and I think he's going to be Player of the Year this year. On to my team, Queen's Park Rangers, and it has to be Chris Willock. He has so much talent. Clearly has a great attitude, and we miss him so much when he's not in the side. Great goal, one of the goals of the season. I can say it now, even a couple of weeks in, against Middlesbrough. Has scored 2 already in those games that he's played, and he hasn't played every single game so far this season. If he can play and stay fit, we have ourselves a really strong team. So important to us, and he is someone who is destined for the Premier League. At the right price. And not this season. Reading, Tom McIntyre, so reliable, can play in a couple of different positions for the team as well. And I think in terms of the changes in personnel that Paul Ince has been putting together, he's trying to kind of find something that's working. And I think he's starting to find that now with McIntyre on the left side as a left-sided centre-back. He's good enough. He's a modern centre-back. He can play midfield as well, can play in the centre of a 3-2, whatever you need, right? But he can play on that left-hand side and go into those wide areas and defend, and that allows Junior Hoilett to get higher up the pitch, which gives them a much better chance of winning games and impacting games. So important to the team. Rotherham United, Daniel Barlasser, very close this one between Ogbene, who started the season really good with problems with his pace and his dribbling ability, really hurting teams so far this season, which is great because with Rotherham, I think there were concerns about them going forward, and maybe there still are. We will see. But Dan Barlasser gives them a chance in any game. In League One, dictated the tempo of a lot of games for them from midfield, provides control, just a midfield gem for Rotherham, and I expect him to be their most important player and their player of the season. Sheffield United, Anel Ahmed Hodzic. One of the highest ceilings in the league in terms of ability and quality. Great on the ball, and let's start off at the back. Defensively, reads the game well, fantastic when he's engaging in duels. But he's also a brilliant asset for the Blades going forward. And so he kind of can step into midfield at times, get into these advanced positions, and provide an overload from that point of view as well. Tactically, a brilliant option. He's going to be a star in this Sheffield United side that I think are going to have a really good season. And I just can't believe they've got him. And I think he's going to be a real star for them this year. Stoke City, Will Smallbone. I think his talent and tenacity will shine through. Tenacity is maybe the wrong word, but he is kind of all action in terms of the fact that he gets about the pitch. And in that role in that midfield 3 for Stoke, he kind of has the ability to go and do that. I like his passing. I think he's positive, spreads the play, passes the ball forward, able to make challenges as well. And as I say, get around the pitch brilliantly. And I think he'll be someone who will really shine throughout the season for Stoke City. Sunderland, I'm going to go for Alex Pritchard. He's so important to this team because he pops up in different areas of the pitch, but importantly, he's brave in terms of and confident in terms of getting the ball anywhere on the pitch. Give it to me, I'll look after it. He's got a paintbrush of a right foot, and also that ability to find these little pockets of space, to get on the ball, to provide control, and he started the season brilliantly, by the way. It also allows you to play 2 up top in terms of Stewart and Sims. And so, although you maybe not totally controlling the game all the time, you've very quickly got 3 bodies high up the pitch in central areas. So Pritchard moving around, getting on the ball, making things happen. He's going to be crucial both for the system and for the end product of this side. I'm interested about this next one. Swansea City, of course, they love to have possession. And when you're watching a football game, you kind of get used to that tempo. Now, when it comes to the way that they want to play, the way that Russell Martin wants to play, Matt Grimes, you could arguably say, is a Premier League player already. And in terms of how they want to be effective, in terms of someone you can trust with the ball, he's so important. That said, Michael Obafembi is a shout because he's just very dangerous in front of goal and he's carrying on from his exploits from last season. So it'll be one where what stays in the mind more, the constant of Matt Grimes or the explosive moments of Obafembi, and of course, hopefully for Swansea City fans, the output as well. Let me know in the comments below, who would you put forward? I'm gonna go with Matt Grimes. But let me know if you disagree in the comments down below. Watford, Daniel Bachmann, he has already won the team points. He's prevented a total of 2.8 goals so far. When you have a look at the XG, it could be on his way to getting the Golden Gloves as Watford start to stabilise in terms of the personnel that they have this season and as a team that should be right at the top of the table. But the Austrian goalkeeper could be getting those Golden Gloves this season and is providing so much importance, especially if you think of that game against Burnley recently, West Brom as well. Big saves for Watford. West Bromwich Albion, Grady Diangana. He's back to his best, is he? Again, West Brom fans, let me know in the comments down below. I'm intrigued to hear what you guys have got to say about it. quiet year for him last year, but I think that was down to the style of play. He didn't really have a purpose or an understanding of his role, or certainly his role didn't totally fit to West Brom. Now, with this new look under Steve Bruce, he's a joy on that left-hand side, and he's one of those players that, of course, he's got that spark, that flair, that quality as well. So if you can get him confident and feeling valuable, you've got yourself a real player there. Obviously, they've had other assets like Jed Wallace come through, Swift come through as well, but it feels like a new signing for West Brom in terms of Dean Garner, and I think it could be a huge season for him. Wigan Athletic, got to be Jason Kerr, because he's got to be a defender, in my opinion. If you have a look at the stats already, they've only scored 3, only conceding 2 at the time of recording. And I think defence is going to be key this year for Wigan in terms of keeping them up in this division. And it started pretty well. Jamie Jones could be an option as well in terms of the goalkeeper. But I'm going to go with Jason Kerr, the Scottish defender, to pick up the award this year. So there you have it, guys. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then hit the subscribe button. And importantly, let us know what kind of videos you'd like to see down in the comments below. This channel is for you guys, EFL fans. Don't worry about any other league. This is about the EFL. So let me know in the comments below what you want to see on the channel, and we will try our very best to make it happen. See you in the next one.